welcome Trinidad and Tobago to our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Nicola Barito. Let's take a look at the headlines. Eid al-Fitr messages from the President and the Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Improvement in CAPE examination results. And a flag in every home, over 1,000 flags expected to be distributed among citizens in the coming weeks. Thank you for joining us to our top story. In his Eid message, His Excellency President Anthony Carmona said it was his sincere hope that the celebration of Eid al-Fitr would serve as a national call for restraint, self-control and discipline. President Carmona quoted or noted that the Muslim faith has undergirded the achievements of numerous sons and daughters of the soil, including the late President Noor Hassan Ali, this country's second president and the first Muslim head of state in the Americas. He made reference to the approximate 1.6 billion Muslims around the world, which the members of the local Muslim community have joined in marking the end of the holy month of Ramadan. President Carmona extended Eid greetings on behalf of his family and himself to all citizens and especially to those of the Muslim faith. In related news, the Honorable Prime Minister is calling on citizens to commit to making Trinidad and Tobago a better place as she congratulated the Muslim community on keeping the fast during the holy month of Ramadan. Quote, Ramadan is meant to enhance and purify the bodies and the souls of all those who honored the fast. This devotion has wiped out all past stains that had been on our hearts, and we are now all cleansed and renewed by your sacrifice, end quote. Those were the words of Prime Minister the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar in her Eid al-Fitr message to the nation 2013. She stated that this was her fervent prayer that Allah would continue to shower the Muslim community with the blessings of peace, prosperity, and happiness. In other news, there is good news for students who this year wrote the CSEC and CAPE examinations. Speaking at the post-cabinet news briefing, Minister of Education Dr. the Honorable Tim Gopi Singh said CAPE results have been sent out by the Caribbean Examinations Council, which would be available online on Friday evening. Minister Gopi Singh said data from his ministry shows that there is an improvement in CAPE examination results, as 65% of CAPE students received a grade 1 to 3 in Unit 1, up from 59.7% in 2009, while 64% of students received grades 1 to 3 in Unit 2. There was a total of 26,549 subject entries this year across the 24 subject areas in Unit 1, which is an increase of 13.4% as compared to 2009. Meanwhile, there were 13,026 subject entries in Unit 2, an increase of 12.6% over 2009. According to Minister Gopi Singh, there were 3,500 students writing Unit 1 and 3,500 students writing Unit 2 in the secondary school system.
The investment that the Honorable Prime Minister and the government which has been making in education, where the largest budget has moved to education, close to 20% of our annual expenditure and approximately 6% of our GDP, which is almost larger than most of the developed countries, seem to be paying off and reaping the rewards so far as we can see with the academic performance. This is just one area where we can measure empirically improved performance.
Minister Gopi Singh said more students are remaining in the education system after CSEC, as data shows there are more students writing CAPE. The Honourable Minister also said that the CSEC examination results will be provided to the Ministry of Education on Saturday and posted online on Monday. In related news, in June, the Ministry of Education successfully paid over $528 million in back pay to public servants of the Ministry of Education and primary and secondary school teachers. A release from the ministry said that 3,000 public servants were paid $16 million in back pay outstanding for the period January 2011 to February 2013. Also receiving back pay were approximately 16,000 primary and secondary school teachers to the tune of $516 million owing for the period October 2008 to February 2013. Now, this follows completed wage negotiations between the Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association and the Chief Personnel Officer, and between the Public Services Association and the CPO. The Ministry of Education says new salary payments in the education sector following the concluded negotiations have taken effect since March 2013. When we come back, a flag in every home. Welcome back. Ahead of Independence Day celebrations later this month, the Ministry of National Diversity is pushing patriotism to a new front through its Flag in Every Home initiative.
Something that we need to take beyond pride and to strive to harness, to develop, and as I said, to play our part in this Caribbean region and play our part in the world, and of which we are quite capable of offering something of great value to our community.
Minister of National Diversity Clifton Decoto called on citizens to be like the national flag in its representation of a strong nation and people.
Let us be like our national flag, a beacon of strength, of unity, of purpose, and of the wealth of the land as represented by the black diagonal. Let us be the force of the vitality, warmth, courage, and friendliness of the people as represented by the red. Let us be the symbol for the cradle of our heritage, the purity of our aspirations, and the equality of men and women under the sun as represented by the white. Let us join our hands and hearts and lift ourselves to be truly inspired and forged as one united, vital, free, and dedicated people. Our national flag is a symbol of our rise to independent status.
Over 1,000 flags are expected to be distributed among citizens in the upcoming weeks. Minister Decoto took the opportunity to thank winners for their participation.
Winners, when you fly your flags high with pride, you are a symbol of hope, love, and truth. I thank you for your participation in the competition and urge you to continue supporting the initiatives of the ministry. To the remaining winners in Trinidad and Tobago, feel free to collect your flags at our ministry's head office. We'll also be placing distribution booths at different locations for your convenience.
In other news, over 576 persons graduated from the Ministry of Community Development's Community Education Program Skill Training Component. The program aims at training persons in the handicraft area with hopes of marketing local art and craft as an export product.
Soon, persons involved in the handicraft industry will be able to enroll in a skills training program that will lead to a diploma. Speaking at the graduation of its St. Andrews Division batch of students in its skill training component, CEO of Export Centers Hansen Narayansingh says it is taking the course to the advanced level.
We at Export Centers are charged with the mandate of revitalizing the handicraft industry in Trinidad and Tobago. Our business model is twofold. It is based upon training and production. At the Export Centers, we also do some training, but now our training is geared at the advanced level. And we hope in the coming months to roll out a diploma in handicraft for a 9-month program. Some of the core courses involved will include design, technique application, prototyping, just to name a few. The syllabus in itself will be a little rigorous because remember we are aiming at a diploma level. It will be the first of its kind not only in Trinidad and Tobago but also in the wider Caribbean.
ECCL is a state agency which falls under the purview of the Ministry of Community Development and has a mandate to train persons to become micro-entrepreneurs capable of producing and selling high-quality craft items for the local and international market. Centres are located in various geographical areas throughout Trinidad. Narayansingh told the graduates to continue along the skill-building path as it would aid them in becoming more marketable in an ever-changing global workforce.
It is therefore important for us to recognize the need to continuously strive for excellence and improvement in what we do and how we do it. In a world marked by economic and social challenges, in an age and era filled with technological advancement, and in a global village where national boundaries are rapidly eroding, it is necessary for you to continuously review and upgrade your standards to further enhance your capacity for business and other employment opportunities.
Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Natasha Barrow, says the program has seen predominantly women participate and enroll in non-traditional areas. She says from this, a number of success stories continue to be produced from the program.
The Ministry is particularly proud of the number of women who are being trained. They are not only being trained in traditional areas like beauty culture, hairdressing and home decor, but are also filling the classes in masonry, plumbing and joinery. Even more inspiring was that 2 years ago, a group of young ladies from the landscaping course in Guayacari officially registered their company through a grant with our ministry. In the space of a few months, they secured contracts with companies like BPTT, NGC, Halliburton and BHP Billiton. They are the real testimonies from graduates like you.
Participants are afforded 5 months of training in craft courses ranging in linen and drapery, soft finishing, glass engraving, floral arranging, sugarcraft, airbrush, upholstery events, screen printing, leather craft, soap, candle and ceramics. Kimberly Ramkalawan, News 4.
Children's homes across Trinidad and Tobago must now meet an international standard in childcare. This is being piloted by the Ministry of Gender, Youth and Child Development. Minister Marlene Coudray recently opened new residential units at the St. Mary's Children's Home, which she pledged her commitment to seeing the protection and comfort of the nation's most vulnerable.
4 new residential units have been formally opened at the St. Mary's Children's Home in Tacarigua. On Wednesday, Minister of Gender, Youth and Child Development, Senator the Honourable Marlene Coudray, attended the significant event. St. Mary's Children's Home recently celebrated its 156th year of existence, moving from an initial 9 children under its protection to its current guardianship for 60 children. Manager of the home, Patricia Martin Ward, extended her gratitude to the ministry and all other stakeholders who helped to make the delivery of the buildings possible.
This occasion today marks a transition from orphanage-type buildings and infrastructure to the more modern family-type model of community care. This is in keeping with the international standards and in keeping with the government and the ministry's move to take better care of vulnerable children in Trinidad and Tobago.
The prefab units came at a cost of $3.3 million with a total accommodation for 76 children. Minister Coudray said the project is part of the government's commitment to ensure that children are not only seen as important, but also given every possible comfort and the wherewithal to grow into successful adults. She said her ministry is in the process of finalizing a plan that will see infrastructure for children's homes across the country vastly improve, while seeking out ways in which it can contribute to the homes meeting a strict international standard.
The government is not prepared to tolerate any excuse for falling short in caring for our children, and we are ensuring that all potential shortfalls are addressed. In addition, the ministry continues to push forward with its strategy of partnering with the NGOs, the faith-based organizations, other community organizations and groups in order to expand the reach and benefit of services to the men, women, youth and children within the ministry's portfolio. Many of these organizations have been operating for some time and they fully understand what the issues are and the extent to which the needs are and the extent to which they can deliver. We have been finding out at the ministry that we really cannot rely on a public service working between the hours of 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. to provide the kind of continuous care we need for our children, particularly those who are in homes and institutions. So our approach is to partner, and we have started to partner with these organizations to ensure that the policy objectives are met as far and as wide as possible.
Minister Coudray also raised the issue of abuse against children and reaffirmed the stance of her ministry.
The ministry is taking very seriously all these reports of abuse to children at homes and in institutions, children in care. And I want to make it quite clear that anyone who takes charge of the care of children and abuse these children, they will feel the full weight of the justice system. I want to promise you all that. The abuse of children in any form will be met with aggressive action from this ministry, and we are now setting up mechanisms in which we can monitor. We have had several discussions with some of the homes, and one of the options we have is to install cameras that can be monitored remotely. We know there are some privacy and other issues involved, but I want to assure everyone who has been asking that the ministry is actively working on reports of abuse.
The new structure at the St. Mary's Children's Home is expected to build the self-esteem of its residents and assist in the home's day-to-day running. However, the chairman of the Board of Management at the home extended an invitation to Good Samaritans to lend their expertise and assistance to the home for its progression.
We are always in need at the home of additional expertise. And if you think you have something to offer, please feel free to come forward and approach the manager, very approachable, and or any member of the board.
Minister Coudray pledged her continued support to the children's home and spoke of plans to further invest in its infrastructure. Nikolai Edwards, News 4.
Sport is up next. Stay with us. It was what we would call a virtual meltdown by Red Steel as they fell to their third successive loss in the Caribbean Premier League. The Trinidad and Tobago T20 cricket franchise went down by 5 runs to the Jamaica Tallawahs at the Queen's Park Oval, a result which leaves them in danger of not advancing to the semi-final, which will be contested at their home ground. Wayne Cunningham has the details from the match.
Red Steel coach Gordon Grinnett said that every match from here on has to be treated like a final. And only a win will suffice as Trinidad and Tobago came home to the Queen's Park Oval to face the Jamaica Tallawahs. Red Steel captain Dwayne Bravo won the toss and invited the Jamaicans to take the first knock. Their captain Chris Gale and Ahmed Shahzad made the most of the invitation with a 44-run stand. Shahzad was the first to go, caught by Suleiman Ben off the bowling of Dillon Johnson for 20. Nkrumah Bonner did not hang around long as he was bowled by Kevin Cooper for 9. But the wicket, which sparked massive celebrations, was that of Gale, who was undone by the Bravo-Bravo combination when he was on 28. Danza Hyatt came in and punished the Red Steel bowling with some clean, big hitting. But it was the treatment meted out to Dwayne Bravo by Vernon Philander in the penultimate over, which took the Tallawahs to a respectable 146 for 6 in their 20 overs. Respectable, but gettable. Also, we thought. The Red Steel got off to a bad start when they lost Kevin O'Brien in the second over for 2, bowled by Dave Bernard Jr. Adrian Barrett and Ross Taylor put that setback behind them and settled down to a 62-run partnership, which had the home team on the road to their first victory. But when Barrett fell for a top score of 32, things went downhill fast. Gale accounted for Taylor, and Mutaya Muyolitaran bamboozled Darren Bravo to leave TNT on 5 for 118 with 10 balls remaining. Dwayne Bravo and 17-year-old Nicholas Puran tried to get on top of the run rate, but it was not happening. Gale and his Talawas coming away with a 5-run melting of the Red Steel. Next up for TNT, Guyana Amazon Warriors on Friday at the Oval. Wayne Cunningham, News 4 Sports.
This is News 4. We'll be back right after the break. The residents of Chaguanas are benefiting from a recent walkabout in the area by the Member of Parliament for Caroni Central. The walk allowed constituents the opportunity to share their issues with persons who were best suited to assist them.
Minister of the People and Social Development and Member of Parliament for Caroni Central, Dr. the Honourable Glenn Ramadar Singh, embarked on a 12-hour-long walkabout in his constituency. On Saturday from as early as 7:30 a.m., the Honourable Minister, along with staff of his ministry and his constituency office, set out on a walk through Montrose and Longdonville in central Trinidad. Minister Ramadar Singh said the intent of the exercise was to listen to the needs of the people on the ground so that they could receive better representation and have their issues addressed.
We were given a ministry of the people to run, and you cannot do so without engaging the people. Yesterday, we had a walkabout in Castlefield with more than 100 persons, and we had a meeting of the community. But before that, we gave out school bags and school books to the children of Castlefield, one of the poorest areas in Caroni Central. More than 30 children were in that facility. And today I want to thank the party group chairman of Castlefield, who stands strong and solid in service of the people. We continue to deepen that effort in the Montrose, Londonville, Edinburgh area today. What we can cover, we will cover. We will have our massive town meeting for Edinburgh 500 on Saturday, where we are planning a series of activities, which includes bringing the police commissioner, the national security minister, and other ministries to engage the people in constructive activities to better their lives. We are there in the governance structure, and we need to continue to serve the people because the people have needs, and those needs have to be attended to. And we will do our duty to the best of our ability, and we will do it every single minute, every single hour, and every single day that we are so charged.
Due to the length of time that the exercise was expected to last, there were 3 shifts among the many volunteers that helped to make the walkabout a success. All the information gathered was taken back to the ministry, where the relevant agencies and departments would take over the numerous cases of the residents of the area. Nikolai Edwards, News 4.
Well, that's how we wrap up this edition of our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Nicola Barreto. Thank you for joining us.